All right, so today I'm excited to welcome Chris Heller, the home seller, live from down in San Diego. Welcome, Chris. Appreciate you being on the show today.
It's my pleasure. I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of you, I'm sure, know Chris. Chris has been the face and a big part of the brand over at Keller Williams. Recently made the transition over to Mellow Homes. So we got a lot of interesting stuff, lots of awesome topics to talk about today. So Chris, start off by telling us a little bit about what you've been up to since you've left the CEO role of Keller Williams.
Oh yeah, I had a great experience at Keller Williams. Learned a lot. Got learned lots of lessons and came out of there really clear on what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and then thought, okay, what am I going to do next? Am I going to do anything next? And just by chance happened to meet the owner of Loan Depot, and we really hit it off. And we had about 10 one-on-one meetings, and somewhere between number 6 and number 10, we both determined, hey, this could be a really cool thing and a good fit.
Nice.
So joined February 5th. I started here.
Okay, nice. So, taking it back to KW, because, I like we actually were just talking right before we went live on this thing. We're talking about back in the day. I mean, I grew up in the KW system when I was still there, watching your videos, listening to you prospect and, learning. I mean, I learned a lot from just watching you on the KWU and seeing the things that you were doing. So, you still have the San Diego real estate team. You're still dominating that San Diego market with the team. Tell us a little bit about the team and kind of what that looks like today.
Yeah, so this is actually our 30th year of the team.
Congratulations.
So, we have sold over 100 homes a year for 20 some years. I can't remember how many, 20 something. And and the team's still going strong. And our office is in Encinitas, but we cover all of San Diego. We do a lot of radio and television, so that means we get business across the county. We are sort of old school and new school all at the same time.
Yeah.
We're definitely prospecting based, so we have ISAs and we're making outbound calls and expired listings and out of area owners and circle prospecting and all those things to our database. At the same time, leveraging technology and social media and radio and television to generate inbound leads.
That's great. That's great. So you're also running that ISA model. How long have you been doing that?
Since 1991. Back then, the term ISA didn't exist. They were telemarketers.
Yeah.
So yeah. I had telemarketers. I started prospecting, my first year in the business, which was the end of 1988, and prospected every day from 1988 to 2010 when I took the position at Keller Williams Realty International and started spending more time in Austin.
Wow. And to this day, your team still prospects every day? I mean, calling expireds, canceleds?
Yeah, expireds, cancels, our database, past client serve influence, around our listings and sales, out of area owners, we're hitting hard right now. And, we've been in obviously, like most parts of the country, a really strong seller's market. So not a lot of for sale by owner activity, but
yeah,
that may be coming back as the market changes. So we'll be ready for that.
Absolutely. Well, I know, one of the things about me is, at the end of the day, I'm still an agent at heart. I still enjoy, coming in the office every day, being with the team, watching them sell homes, working with the team on a daily basis. Tell me a little bit about, as the CEO of your real estate team still, right? You're still running the team?
Yeah, I don't run it on a day-to-day basis. I have daily accountability calls. There's daily reporting, but I'm not involved in a transactional basis.
Sure.
Haven't been since 2010.
Okay, when you took the role over there as CEO at KW. Okay. Tell us about your team, kind of that current structure and makeup and
Sure.
what that looks like today.
So we have just a single listing specialist who goes on the appointments listed. We have sort of a managing partner or general manager who also will go on appointments. We have, when the listings come back, those go to the listing manager. He's capable of going on appointments too and has in the past when the need exists.
Okay.
But he basically takes the file once it comes back and takes it to the point of uh, to get it under contract. He handles the negotiations. Uh, Once it goes under contract, then it goes over to our transaction manager who takes it through to the closing. We have a marketing coordinator that makes sure all the things that need to be done get done on that end. We have a gal that does property management.
Oh,
Then
wow.
we have, and there's been some new hires. So I believe we have two buyers agent, two or three buyers agents, and three ISAs right now.
Okay. Okay. And you guys are covering all of San Diego, so that you have the one listing specialist so does she prospect also, or does she receive leads just from the ISAs?
Um, so it's a he, and he prospects mostly the expired listings is what he focuses on. So it's either regardless of where the appointment came from, he's the one going on the appointment.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So Chris, one of the things that I've run into in talking to team leaders and I'm sure that you've probably been asked this question a lot too, is how do you attract and hire new team members to your team down there?
There's I've been asked that a long time for a lot of years, and I've seen and I've heard other agents talk about that. So there's two answers I'll give.
Sure.
One is when you have a great business and a great reputation, people will come to you, and
Yeah.
we get approached a lot, and which is great, right? Because it gives us the opportunity to be very selective. If it happens to be at a time where we haven't been approached lately, or some people aren't reaching out, then it's incumbent upon us to get the word out. So then finding great team members means making sure that we're letting the world know that we're looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's actually posting it on job sites. Most of the time, it's word of mouth, making sure all the affiliates know that we're looking, making sure that some of the brokerages in the area know, the managers know, because sometimes they have agents that are a better fit for a team, or they might interview someone who's more inclined to be on a team, and we want them to always be thinking of us in that situation.
Absolutely.
We've hired out of our database before by letting our database know that we're hiring, social media. So just an all-out attempt to get the word out.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. I know, here in our business, it's the same thing. When you dominate a marketplace or you dominate your local area, I mean, everybody knows your name. You get calls every single day, people wanting to join the team. So, that's definitely good advice. Keep your reputation good and keep yourself in front of the marketplace.
Yeah. So over the years, I've had, a few people that were kids or nephews of agents in other cities who, in fact, right now our transaction manager is the daughter of a great agent I know up in I think I don't know if she's in Seattle or Bellingham, but somewhere right around there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's when you've been around for a few years, when you're hiring people as children, right?
Well, actually, when you've been around for a few years when you're selling houses to their children.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, Chris, one thing I know about you is you're a prospecting machine. You guys have just killed it with, the old school method of, prospecting and calling. I mean, just like we have in our business. But when you look at your top three lead generation strategies, what do you think? I mean, if you had to name your top three, what would they be?
It'd be, I don't know that these are necessarily in order, but it'd be our radio and television, because we've been doing it for a long time. This is like the 8th year that we've been out there. So that is an ongoing source. the outbound calls, the expired listings, the just sold calls, and then our repeat and referral business. And those are um, for the last 8 years, those have always been the top three. Um, Before radio and television, uh, our outbound calls, expired listings for sale by owners, and our repeat and referral business have always been our two top sources.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that that's a solid model. I mean, again, I think we have a lot of, we mirror a lot in our businesses, but for us, I mean, the exact same three.
Yeah, and I don't know that. Um, I wouldn't sit here and say it's the best model because it's to each his own.
Yeah.
But it is a very predictable model. It's one where you can be proactive and build a plan around the activities and then execute on that plan versus hoping or waiting that a certain marketing campaign is going to yield leads or leads that actually convert.
Yeah, it's active versus passive, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. And it's the nice thing about it, like you said, it's predictable, but we've also found it works in any market.
Yeah, yeah, and any market, and I assume you're not talking about any geography, but any market, up market, down market, sideways market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
does work in every geography too.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right. You can always pick the phone up and call somebody,
Yeah,
regardless of where you're sitting.
yeah, yeah. I always said if I got dropped off in a city and you know someone said, okay, all you have is a real estate license, go to work, and I'd pick up the phone and knock on doors and start making it happen.
Yeah, that's right. Any city, we've proven that here, in our business because we've expanded, our main office, like I was talking about, is in the Portland, Oregon metro area. We expanded into Seattle and Spokane and Tri-Cities and now into Idaho. And it's just that same philosophy, that old school philosophy of, no matter what market you go into, you can still pick the phone up, call and generate leads and have business, within a week.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a great thing.
yeah. It sounds very easy. It's not. It's
Yeah,
hard work. Um, and someone watching or listening might be wondering, well, why doesn't everyone do that? Because a lot of people just don't like to do the work. They rather try to figure out shortcuts, and we all know that there's very few of those.
yeah. Otherwise, we would have figured them out and been doing them right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Either that, or I've just been really dumb for 30 years.
yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, Chris, I know that you've kind of removed yourself, right, as running the team on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, you're running Mellow Homes now and doing that whole thing. But when you do invest time in the real estate business, where do you invest the majority of your time in the business when you're there?
Yeah, so I'll give you some real life examples just this week. So the team has a weekly meeting, and this week I did a Zoom call into the meeting,
Nice.
and and we talked about a lot of things, prospecting and time blocking and how to be productive in a world where there's always more to do than there's enough time to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I told them is, look at I'm the most expensive consultant that you'll never have to pay. So take advantage of it. And so yesterday I got a text message from our listing manager and said, hey, whenever you have a minute, I have a quick question. So I called him and he had a pretty unusual scenario. I don't know if one's happened before, but it's about an offer and a price reduction and the timing of different things. And talked for 3 minutes. Said, well, look, here's our options. We do this, this, or this. This one isn't the right thing to do. This is probably the best way to handle it. And and he texted me back and said, hey, I called them. It worked perfect. Thank you. And so it's just that type of stuff. Once a week, I have a early morning coaching session with our listing specialists to role play and to go over any objections that are causing him more issues or helping him become more effective on his presentation. And we had a call this week and had some good ahas and discovered some good things, and making some changes to how we do certain things. So it's some of it's that tactical. Other of it might be more more general, and preparing them for the changes in the market and the what we need to do to change the conversations we have with buyers and sellers to be not only educational but also help them understand how things change and the impact of those changes.
Gotcha. So more coaching, kind of coaching your people on a day to day.
Yeah, I
Nice.
generally don't have the patience for that, but when it's my team and my livelihood, then I'll take the time.
There you go. There you go. Nice. So, I guess one thing I would ask you, Chris, is, we get all kinds of people watching our podcasts and our videos, right? I mean, from different experience levels, executives to new agents. If you were going to see, I guess one question I would ask you is, if I had the chance to ask you one thing, back in the day, it would have been, Chris, what would you do differently if you were starting your team over from scratch?
Yeah, so that's always an interesting question, because it's because you never have that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
um,
At least you hope not.
yeah. Unless it's for a good reason, like you're expanding to another location.
Sure.
My team developed not out of any desire to have a team or any conscious thought to build a team. My team developed because I became more effective and more efficient, and as I did, more business was generated as a result of that, and I needed help to take care of the business.
Sure.
So then it was a matter of, okay, who do I bring in, and what's the most efficient way for us to structure things so I can keep doing my highest and best use, and put people in places to do what's their highest and best use, and provide a great experience for the client. So I still haven't touched your question, but back to the question, I guess, if knowing what I know now, early on, I didn't understand how important it was for two things. One, for me to be a good leader and manager. I was very driven, very focused, and sort of had the attitude everyone else should be that way, and couldn't understand if they weren't, and why did I need to lead or manage, and that's not realistic. The second thing is that early on, I did not do a good job of putting people in positions where they were a good fit. They might have been good people, might have been talented people, but I didn't understand personality styles or behavioral styles. Probably didn't understand mine that well early on, and so attracted great people, but most of the time it didn't work out because the mismatch in communication, or putting them in a role that this wasn't the right role for them.
Gotcha.
So knowing what I know now, I definitely would have done those things differently. I think I would have. I don't know. I'm really looking to see if I would have. I probably, knowing what I know now, I probably would have delegated more earlier.
Yeah.
I held on to handling the negotiations. I was really good at it, liked it, but held on to it for a long time, and before I delegated that off and trained someone to do that. And I could have done that earlier, which would have freed me up even more.
Well, Chris, I think that it's interesting because, we both came from, prospecting 4 or 5 hours a day. I mean, that was at least my whole day was structured around my prospecting, getting my appointments set up and going to my appointments and doing that. Right. Yeah. And, I had that same challenge because I became very effective and very focused on what it is that I would do every single day. And I expected everybody around me to do the exact same thing. Show up when I show up, get up at 4 when I wake up, get to the office and make 4 hours worth of prospecting calls. And I came to realize pretty early on that when you hire employees or you hire agents, really you have to kind of get yourself in that mindset that you have to be happy with them being able to do 80% of what you're going to do or what you can do or achieve, right? Did you
Yeah,
find that to be true when you were building the team?
absolutely, Aaron. I don't remember when it was, but I remember having the realization that in certain things, 90% was okay. I
Yeah.
use not 80, but uh, and what I mean by that was I knew if I did it, it would be done 100% the way I wanted it done, and in my mind, 100% of the right way.
Yeah.
Not everything that happens in our business needs to be that. In many of the areas, if it's getting done 90% of the way I want it done, or 90% of the right way, that's still head and shoulders above, the standard or above other agents. And that gave me a lot of freedom to, uh, to, and probably made it a lot easier on the people around me um, to, operate and not be held to a standard that wasn't realistic.
I'm laughing because I went through the exact same thing where once I accepted that they weren't going to be up to operating at that standard, there was that sigh of relief a little bit, when the tension isn't there, that you're constantly wondering and questioning why they aren't working harder or faster or more efficiently. So I
Yeah,
completely relate to that.
yeah, yeah. You can only whip a horse so hard.
Absolutely. So you're over at Mellow Homes now. A lot of people, might not know Mellow Homes
Yeah.
and what that whole system's about. So tell us about Mellow Homes, who they are as a company.
So, I need to back up a little bit to do that. So,
Sure.
Loan Depot is the fifth largest lender in the country, the second largest non-bank lender behind Quicken Loans. Privately held company. Anthony Shea is a great leader, visionary leader, and he created a sister company called Mellow Home. And Mellow Home is the homeowner service side of the business, where Loan Depot is the lending side of the business. Uh, what he discovered early on is that there's a tremendous amount of people and uh, that are shopping and today are just as likely to come in contact with a lender as they are a real estate agent at the onset of their process, and because they're online and lenders are online, and everywhere there's homes being advertised, there's lenders being advertised,
Yeah.
and many people, in several years ago, as agents, we would have to really explain to a buyer the importance of being pre-approved on the loan, and and that process is first. I think as a agent community, and now with the information that's readily available to everyone, we've done a pretty good job of educating the public that. So there's a lot of buyers that are starting the process of looking or shopping for a home by contacting a lender. Now, maybe contacting them on a site or a portal where they're looking to get pre-approved or see what they qualify for, or figure out what their payments would be. So when those leads contact Loan Depot, the ones that are buying a property, about half of them don't have an agent they're working with. So we're able then to take that pre-approved buyer, connect them over to Mellow Home. We have a concierge team.
Wow.
That concierge then connects them with one of our referral network agents. So we're building a referral network of top agents all around the country. And that concierge then makes an introduction of the buyer, the loan officer, and the real estate agent. And that real estate agent, because they're a top agent, have proven to be very effective in helping our customers get into homes. We're closing escrows every day, and more going into escrow every day or under contract.
That's
And the agent then pays a referral fee to Mellow Home.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So anybody out there listening, right? If they want to get leads basically from Mellow Homes, right? They want to get sellers who want to sell, buyers who want to buy, whatever the case is. how do they get set up, in the network to start receiving referrals?
Sure. So, and just to give a little more information on it, about 90% of the referrals we send out are buyers, about 10% are sellers.
Okay.
And uh, in the future, we'll be doing more to generate more seller leads, because we know that those are more valuable and desirable to agents than just the buyers. So there's
Yeah.
a couple of ways. So you can contact your local Loan Depot loan officer to get specific information. You can also go to the site mellowhome.com, mellohome.com, and there's an application there and I'll just be completely upfront with everyone. We look for agents that have been in the business for at least 3 years full time. We look for agents who have sold over 50 transactions in the previous 12 months. So now, if you haven't sold over 50 and you're watching this, you might just have turned us off. But hopefully you didn't. In some areas, we will relax those standards because we need to, because of the marketplace. There may not be agents that sell that many properties, or to have enough coverage, we sometimes will relax that. We generally don't go below 25 transactions. So we're looking for agents that are really good at what they do. And the reason for that is we're taking our customers and putting them in the hands of agents. And we want that customer to have a great experience. That is goal number one. And we know that the top agents usually know how to give a great experience, and they know what they're doing at a high level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's great. Free referral, or, referrals are always a great thing, so that's
Yeah. It's free. It doesn't cost to join the referral network, but there is a referral fee on the back end.
Okay. Very nice. And then, Chris, I know we're getting ready to wrap up here. I appreciate you being on the show today. If anybody's looking to refer a San Diego buyer or seller, they want the top agent in the area, obviously Chris Heller, the home seller. How do they get a hold of you guys to send you guys some referrals?
Yeah, we do a ton of referral business just because we've been doing it for 30 years, and we've been one of the top teams in San Diego for 30 years. In fact, we've sold more homes than anyone else. And we do a great job. We understand the referral dynamic, and that people are staking their reputation on connecting their clients with us. So you can simply go to our website, hellerthehomeseller.com, or call us at 800-800-2978. My email on the team is chris@hellerthehomeseller.com.
Awesome. So anybody out there listening, you want to start getting referrals, you want to start getting some buyers, or maybe a couple sellers in your pocket. Make sure you check out Mellow Homes. You got your San Diego referrals. Get a hold of Mr. Heller, the home seller. He knows exactly what he's doing. So Chris, I appreciate you being on the show today.
Hey, it's my pleasure. It's been fun.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.